What's up, everybody? My name's Chance. Today we're going to be playing my customized Merfolk deck. Well, it's not mine. I actually got it online or offline, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it just focuses more on the forest secrets of the forest, jungle secrets. Basically, it just hones in on the unblockable sort of route that deck has. Basically, you just want to upgrade how many river sneaks you have, add in the mist-cloaked heralds. You can have up to 3 Kuminas if you really want to. I only run 2 because even with 2, sometimes I still see overlap, and it's not that great a card to warrant 3, I don't believe. Nonetheless, a couple more things I could do to upgrade this deck is, of course, add in another deep root. In which case I could take out the Seafloor Oracle if I really wanted to. I enjoy having it for the card draw. It's good on the games that run a little bit longer. Or I could take out the Tempest Caller. Ideally, you don't want games to run long. And of course, you could take out another forest and another island and add in 2 more unclaimed territories, which you mark for Merfolk. Since you're not really using... yeah, I don't have any non-creature spells. So basically the idea of this deck is to... let's get off Constructed and off all my other custom-made decks. Basically the idea of this is to get out your unblockable creatures, buff them, and then just sort of take them down. Try to win before turn 6, 7, ideally. A turn 4 to 5 victory is, you know, good. This hand isn't the best because we have a Seafloor and a Kumina instead of some other things that could buff our River Sneak and our Mist-Cloaked. But we'll take it still because it does open us up for a good opening hand. And hopefully our draws will be good as well. You guys will have to excuse me, I've been sick the past couple of days, so I didn't record yesterday. But we'll see what kind of opponent we're looking at right now. All we got is green. Could be Golgari, could be mono green, green red with dinosaurs. Looking like a mono green so far. Maybe an elf ball top deck. And the Silver Gill Adept, of course, helps get out cards, helps us draw cards, helps buff our River Sneak, and if you plan on already playing 2 Merfolk, then the whole cost of him revealing a Merfolk isn't really that big. But you can see from our River Sneak's ability, whenever another Merfolk enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +1/+1. Obviously that can build up pretty quickly whenever you got 5 or 6 lands and you can summon 2 to 3 Merfolk every turn. So... and then of course you have things like Jungleborn Pioneer, which summon 2 Merfolk in 1 card. Great synergies. My girlfriend's trying to sneak out of the room. And again, you guys will have to excuse my coughing. I was going to attack with Kumina Speaker and Silver Gill, but basically what would happen is we'd trade our Silver Gill for the Elvish Rejuvenator, and Druid of the Cowl would block Kuminas, so there's no real point for that. But because of our 2 attackers and Seafloor Oracle, we actually managed to draw a Deep Root Elite, which is actually a really good card. This means every time we summon a Merfolk, we can add a +1/+1 counter onto our unblockables. So it makes things like Aggressive Mammoth basically nothing. So, and I always try to buff the River Snake because it's much harder to take it out. Of course, it is also a much larger target As you can see, it gets up a lot higher, a lot faster than the Miscloaked Herald. Nonetheless, there's 2 more cards, and 2 Jade Bearers is nothing to sneeze at. I think it actually means that next turn we win unless he has some way to deal with both our River Sneak and our Miscloaked Herald. But I don't think so. I think he's just going to try and kill us before then. Unfortunately, he will not have any luck, so we'll go ahead and wish him a good game. And we can block those 3 just so we don't take as much damage. Not that it really matters. Yeah. So you can see if we didn't have these unblockables, it would obviously be very, very difficult to work against, but because we do, not worried about it. And just for the overkill, yeah, okay. So, you see where the strength of this deck lies, and what, 6 mana? So, basically turn 6 we killed him, like I said, turn 5, 6, ideal victory time. And the main focal point with knowing how to play this deck is knowing when to mulligan and knowing when to keep your hands, because past that, it's really pretty simple. You'll learn the combinations, of course, if my mouth doesn't get ahead of my brain, or reverse. Nonetheless, you'll learn the combinations of playing which Merfolk first. It's fairly simple, of course, if you just read their abilities and, you know, logically think out, okay, if I play this one before that one, do I get the benefits of it? So, and sometimes you want to play ones just as bluffs, because people will obviously try to shit on Merfolk early because they know the strong potential it can have. Wasn't expecting a Gearsmith Prodigy from a red-blue, honestly. But we'll go ahead and play our River Sneak as well. I like to go ahead and get both my unblockables down before I start buffing everything out. So next turn we'll probably use our Jungle-Born Pioneer. It'll give us some blocking materials, because he already knows, like, we're not going to block with our unblockables for fear that they might get traded. But yeah, we'll go ahead and play our Jungle-Born. And next turn, depending on what we draw, we may go ahead and summon one of our Communas. But this is what I actually mean. We only have 2 in the deck, but yet here 2 of them are. I know that they have no increased draw rate, but for some reason it does seem that I draw the Communas a hell of a lot, so. And he is building up a nice little army, but fortunately enough for us, Merfolk are cheap and easy to get out, so. And I don't know what he's waiting to activate here. He can only select one player, so. Well, I mean, he can deal damage to himself, but there would be no point to it, so. Now, if you have things like Shalai out, which gives you, yourself, hexproof, then he actually has to attack himself. It's just pretty cool little trick. We'll trade with the hexproof and take away one of them. Okay, so a Deep Root is actually really good in conjunction with our J-Bearer, because it actually means we get 2 +1/+1 counters, so yeah. And because we're getting 2, we're going to try and buff one creature out of Lightning Strike range. And then we'll buff the other one out of Lightning Strike range. Makes more sense to me that way, rather than trying to buff both of them at the same time and losing, you know, half of our. Of course, I guess if he destroys one, then we lose all of them. I don't know. I still haven't decided which is better, to try and rush one or just buff one quickly. He tapped him, but I'm not sure why. Huh. Okay, I think we get out our Kumina finally. And now our River Sneak is above Lightning Strike range. She'll have to Lightning Strike plus shock us, which is perfectly fine. And the cool thing about Kumina is he actually has 3 abilities that he comes with, all focused on Merfolk. Tap 1 and he becomes unblockable, which is really strong. Tap 3, draw a card. Tap 5, put a +1/+1 counter on all of them. And there's some really cool synergies you can do with that. Of course, we're just going to attack with these 2. And he's already down to 3 health. And what? Going on to turn 4? It's got to be just turn 4, yeah? And you'll actually see something really cool with Kumina if, say he doesn't attack or you don't tap all of your creatures, which I should be able to show you here. Okay, now if you do this before you hit my turn, obviously he's already done everything he's going to do. You can go back and use your abilities afterwards, and then of course they'll just untap because your turn's right after his end step / cleanup. So it's a really good way to get out the most. And it really doesn't matter what we play this turn. He's pretty finite. There's another Deep Root Elite. Again, having 4 Deep Root Elites is actually really good, because you're only going to have positive effects from having 4 of them out on the field. So, and now when it comes to the combat, all of his monsters are gone, of course. So, and that's a quick first 2 games. On to game number 3. And don't be fooled by this deck. I will say it's fun to play. And yeah, I'm still in Bronze 3 because I keep trying to craft all these crazy wacky decks, and of course they don't always work out. And sometimes I just try and edit the basic ones, which I really need to go back and fix that, because I would like for all the ones that they gave me starting out to remain the exact same. But yeah, so that's why I'm still all the way down in Bronze 3. For me to really test the deck, I'll go to the constructed event, you know, pay the 500 gold. Then that's a little bit more serious. People that generally put decks in there, they're sort of more thought out. So, but yeah, don't get confused. This deck is really good if you're wanting to go grind out constructed events. It is a little bit costly. In my opinion, there's a lot better ones. I sort of saw the Merfolk originally, and I played them, and before I really looked too far into Magic, I was like, yeah, that's the deck I want to use. Seems great. Seems like it's fun. But after I finally got it all built and I started playing more and more, I decided, one, this deck's potential isn't that high. Like the playability, I don't know what you would want me to call it, the diversity, I guess, in the win strategies is very low, and people know exactly what you're going for. If somebody wants to shut down a Merfolk deck, well, here's a deck that can do it. Lifelink, great deck to counter a Merfolk deck. Very, very difficult to get up underneath your opponent whenever he just keeps healing up. And of course, he's stacking Ajani's Pride Mace the entire time. Not saying that Ajani's is a great card, but it does allow a pretty good counter to our Merfolk. But for the time being, we'll stick with the strat. And generally, like, it may sound counterintuitive, but you don't really want to worry about blocking his monsters. You still want to have some, you know, some cannon fodder, so you're not just sitting there empty-handed when he does go to attack you. But at the same time, you just want to be focusing on getting your unblockables to damage him. If he has some tramples, then be worried. But past that, you really just need to get that damage in there before he can do too much to you. So, we'll kill the Bishop Soldier, and of course Jade Bearer will die, but that's not a big deal. And even if he buffs Bishop Soldier, which you could very well do, yeah. Either way, our Jade Bearer was going to die this turn, so that's not a huge deal. Ajani's of course going to get another buff, but you can also see why now lifelinks are so hard for Merfolk. And we can get out another Mistbonder. But I think I'm going to go Jungleborn Pioneer for the extra blocking ability. And getting out another River Sneak wouldn't really help us because, of course, he already knows we're not going to block with it. So, might as well buff our River Sneak, get out 2 more blockers. Next turn, maybe play another Mistbinder. If we can get out another land card, we can play a Mistbinder and a Silver Gill Adept. So, unfortunately, this is going to be a very difficult one for us to win. Okay, no tricks up his sleeves that time, but we are down to 9 health. We do still have a blocker for his Ajani's, 7 health, I'm sorry. We do still have a blocker for his Ajani's, which is good. We can actually tap his Ajani's for good next turn, but I think we actually want to save that. And we're not going to attack with our Jungleborn. Now, next turn we'll play our Water Trap Weaver, of course. He should attack with Ajani's. Maybe an Epicure of Blood, but definitely Ajani's. He's probably thinking about it. He doesn't know whether or not he wants to. Alright, that's fine. There's our other island, of course, that we needed last turn. I can get out a Silver Gill, and it can block the Ajani's and River Sneak, and then next turn use Water Trap. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I will Silver Gill and not reveal the Water Trap, because I don't want him to know what I'm doing. Now we have a 6/6 we can attack with, brings him down to 11, a little bit closer in range, and we also have another one we can defend with. He'll attack with Bishop Soldier and Epicure of Blood. Ooh. Well, that's not good. We deal 7. We deal 5. Okay. Well, that's actually really good then if he does that. Because I can afford... And he's already... Okay. Well, let's do it like this then. I don't know why he did it in that manner. But he definitely could have killed us if he had... Or would have forced more out of us if he would have used both Epicures of Blood and his Bishop Soldier to attack. Oh well though, his loss. We'll play Deep Root and then Water Trap Weaver. Now his Ajani's won't be able to attack. And we're just 1 damage off, which is really upsetting. But on the bright side, we have enough to block his 2 creatures. I don't believe he has anything that can deal 5 damage. He does have things that can deal 3 damage, but maybe he knows this. Okay, and we still won it. So 3-0 in our games with the Merfolk custom deck. And I'll go back through the cards real quick so you guys can look at them one more time. But like I said, don't be fooled. The deck is good at winning low levels. You can go win construct events. I'd say about 50% of the time you'll get to 5 or more wins, which is still pretty good. Like, it's not a bad deck, but as far as fun goes, as far as what's the word I'm looking for? As far as like changeability in its playstyle, it's very low. It's very similar every single time. It doesn't have much counterplay within the deck itself. Like, you can't counter them, so yeah, it's just very very monotonous. It is a good deck if you want to grind it out, but it also is very monotonous play. So nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, comment for any questions, comments, concerns, yada yada. You guys know the deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more.